Okay, this is a quick look at the client profile record in WITS. We're going to look at specifically, this is the Smart System, which is Maryland's version of WITS. This is the home page, which we'll look at on another video, but for now we just want to get into the client profile to look at the demographic information that we capture on an individual client. So the best way to get into that is through the client list option here on the left hand side. And you can see that I've already got some text typed into one of these client search fields. Okay, so you can look for clients using any one of these fields. For instance, I could say, let's just look at open clients that are in my facility. Okay, and my facility happens to be BGR IT right now. You can tell from the top here. If I hit go, this is going to tell me everybody with an active case that I have access to in my facility. Okay, I could further filter this down. If I knew the name of my client, I could filter this down even further and say, hey, I probably want to go look at information on Pac-Man Jones. So I could look at every client here that starts with PAC, hit go. So now I've got three filters operating here. I'm looking at only folks that have a first name starting with PAC, not too many. Then they have to be an open client. This can't be an old record or an old case. Plus, they've got to be in my facility. Okay, so once I've got that, we see we've pulled up Pac-Man Jones here. If I want to see his profile, I click this link. I can also look at all the clinical activities that he's done, which we'll do in another video, or I could delete his record if I found that this was a mistake and we don't have any clinical activities on this guy's record. I could delete it. But let's just hit profile for today. We'll take a look at a couple of fields here. All the yellow fields are required. Okay, so you've got to put something in for first name, last name, gender, date of birth, SSN. Okay, this is Maryland's rules. This is not a WITS default. This is not a WITS requirement. This is something that Maryland asked us to configure for them, and that changes state to state, provider to provider. In this case, we've taken in these pieces of information to automatically generate a client ID. So that's not entered by a user. That's actually generated by the system using Maryland's approved client ID generation algorithm. And the key there is that if Pac-Man goes into other agencies, into other provider agencies, and gives the exact same information, that the system creates the exact same client ID. So the state reporting then would show this as a deduplicated, or would see that this same client ID has appeared in multiple places and will count it as a single individual instead of two different folks. I should say this is fictitious. Pac-Man Jones is not in our system. This is all test data. This is all fake. But this is just a quick look at some of the client profile information you can capture. A lot of states just have us make this screen required. Some states go further and they want to also say, hey, if there's alternate names, we'll capture those here. If there's additional information you want to capture as far as race, special needs, language, educational status, you can do that here. Totally optional, by state, that varies. You can also capture multiple addresses, different types of addresses, work, home, plus all these different phone numbers, email address, collateral contacts. This could be the aunt, it could be the parole officer, it could be the daughter. Useful when you're trying to track the client down. Also useful when you're trying to do a treatment team. These folks in the collateral contacts list could be added to the client's treatment team. And we'll see that also in another video. Other numbers. This could be related to another court case. This could be something that's tied to driver's license. These pull downs here can dictate what types of numbers we're looking at here. And then the last thing I'll show you here in the client profile section is something called history, which is a nice, basically an audit log of the activity that we've seen on this client. Now, this will show every time a user goes in and accesses this guy's record, even if they don't make any changes. If they just go and look around, you can see that there's me going and just looking around at this guy. So pretty handy when you're doing HIPAA audit logs. We do capture an extensive amount of activity that users go through, their IP address, where they come in from, what screen they're accessing, plus if they change data, the old version and the new.